What's up, guys? Sean Cole back with another YouTube video, and I'm going to be doing this a little bit differently this time. Okay, this is the Experience of Life, episode 1. What is the purpose of life? I don't know why the fuck I'm here. My name is Sean Cole. Most of y'all know, and if you don't know me, you know I don't take a lot of stuff seriously. That's at least what I show y'all. But for the people that don't know me, I'm 21 and I moved to Bonham the second my brain started maturing in 2019. And I've experienced a lot of stuff since I've been here, but something in me makes me not want to leave. I was sitting at the top of my favorite place in Bonham when I started writing this. It was the first place I went to when I moved here. I like it mainly because it's silent, and even when there's people around, it's overpowered by the sounds of birds chirping, wind rustling, and overall just the sounds of nature. I grew up in a household of 5 kids and a single mom struggling with addiction, so silence is good. The purpose of this is so y'all can get to know the true me and I can figure out the answers on why the fuck I'm here. Depending on who you ask that question, you're always going to get a different answer. If I call my brother Clayton and ask, he'll probably ramble on about multiple different topics, and now that I've gotten off the phone with him, I was 100% correct. But one topic I didn't expect him to get into was beliefs in spirituality. So during the phone call, the first thing I asked him was, what do you think your purpose is here today? And his response was, I am unsure of God's purpose for me outside of serving him. Now, if I broke it down into my terms, it would be God's goal is for us to be as close as we can like him. But God doesn't work a 9 to 5. God doesn't work in a power plant. God doesn't serve in the military. So there are other things that we must do while on earth that God has created, but what are we supposed to be doing other than being exactly like him? My brother was saying he's unsure, but he was just like me, didn't take life too serious. The only difference is then came the birth of his son. He told me before his son he would miss meals and he wouldn't care, but now that he has someone to make sure they're eating, make sure they have clothes on their back, and make sure that they are sheltered at all times, it gave him another purpose. So when I asked him again in the phone call later, because yes, this took 2 phone calls, it's my brother, I am sure he will say his purpose, well, God's purpose for him is to be a parent and to lead by example, because we are all children and children mimic. So maybe the goal is to show the right thing to do so other people will do the right thing. After our second call, his final answer was, I am unsure of my purpose, but we all will be presented with a set of choices, and with whatever choice you get, it comes with consequences down the road. We make our own purpose. We make our own purpose. It's interesting. In my 21 years on this earth so far, I don't think I've made a single step towards my true purpose because I don't know what it is. I think it's time to call my sister. And who would have guessed, she said the exact same thing as me, which that does not give me a little hope for my future because she is 2 years older than me and she does not seem worried about it whatsoever. Not too long ago, I had a conversation with one of my military friends, and everyone around us was saying that they're going to have it someday, that they're going to make it, emphasize on it. My military buddy said, what the fuck is it? No one knows what it is. I want to make it in this life. What's it? I'm going to have it someday. What is it? To different people, it could mean family. It could mean love. It could mean money. It could mean whatsoever. So because of that conversation, I decided to call him as well and ask his opinion. And him, not too far from my brother, said his purpose is to serve others and have an impact on others, which I agree with everything everyone has said so far. It's just in this life, you need money. You need food, you need water. Food and water cost money. You need shelter, that costs money. You need clothes on your back because if not, you're shamed because you're naked. But that cost money. And giving my impact on others could honestly give me money. But what impact am I showing by helping others just so I can get money? I don't know. This is also confusing to me. Right now, I've been presented with a choice. Do I want to take on the mantle and be an exterminator that will ultimately have my whole life set up with a great chance of it going well and I don't have to leave? Or do I want to go to a CSI base in Quantico and be a drone instructor? I don't know. I was thinking about it a lot recently, but at the end of the day, when making this choice, I did not think once about the money it would bring in. I thought about the comfortability. How happy will I be? So does that mean our purpose will be happiness? Just being glad to live another day? Just being glad to have lived a life with so much experience? At the end of the day, no matter what, I'm going to be confused. But is it happy confusion or is it sad confusion? What am I working for? I went to have this conversation with my neighbor, and one of my friends appeared out of nowhere with a drug dealer. They both appeared, so I asked them the question while asking my neighbor. My neighbor gave me the same answer as me. He doesn't know, because who can? With his answer, I didn't expect an answer from the other two, because the other two are 3 years younger than me. But they did. The drug dealer said, hope to be comfortably successful while having children. Yes, the drug dealer had an answer, and I didn't. But if I really think about it, I should have asked, what do you count as success? Because success is a broad term. Success could mean many things. And my other friend said to get to the money as fast as possible so I can do whatever I want, whenever I want. Can't ask questions about that. That's pretty simple. I could have asked, what do you think you should be doing to get the money? But with an answer like that, I don't think it really matters too much, besides obviously morally wrong things. But overall, sounds like money is a big repetitive goal between the last few people I've asked. Then I went on a spree. I asked a bunch of different people because why not? I want to find the answer. No one is saying money, so maybe that's not the answer. I asked a bunch of parents and every single one of them said their children, but one that stuck out was my mom's answer. She told me she doesn't know anymore because it was always her children, but now she doesn't know. See, she didn't mean it in a way a son would take it, but I dive deep into every answer, so here goes nothing. Just because your kids are adults doesn't mean you stop being a parent in my eyes. So how can your purpose stray away from that? When I asked my brother Chucky, his was to take care of mom. So now the roles have completely reversed. I did bring up her answer to her later, and she said that it was to get closer to us, her family, and I appreciate that. I then asked my brother, who is the most blunt of us all, and he said something that really stuck to me. It was originally get to tomorrow because he always wanted to be a dad, and now that he is, it is to prove to our mom it's not that hard. That one honestly stings a little bit because my point of view I see on our mom is so much differently than all my other siblings. I do understand she kind of messed up our chance to just be kids, and we had to grow up like so fucking fast. But I've seen addiction in so many friends and a little in myself throughout high school and a little after high school. And if I could take it all back, I would. But one single weak moment could not only fuck up a person, but fuck up a generation. So a single mom of 5 kids losing her brother is a moment of weakness to try and numb the pain. Then you fall in love with that feeling and it blurs out the reality of what you're actually doing to the people around you. I see it as she lived over 15 years through those blurry goggles, and now that she hopefully has cleaned the lens, I want to give her the opportunity to be stronger than she has ever shown. When I was younger, I never understood that, and I hated every second of life. I was starving. I had a warrant there's a warrant that I now have because my mom wasn't home to pick me up. So I rode in the back of a cop car and had my sister pretend she was my mom. There's so much more stories, but those are going to come with time, and some aren't exactly mine to tell. So anyway, let's get back on topic. I then asked my brother's wife. She said she never wanted to be a mom, but met my brother, and now her purpose is my beautiful nephew and more to come. Lovely story. I stopped asking people the question for a little bit because all the answers seem repetitive. I believe some people are also here and think their purpose is power. I don't think it's wrong to own a gun at all. I live in Texas, yeehaw. But I do think that some people have guns for the wrong reasons. Some people's first instinct is to shoot. And the whole reason I'm bringing this up is because they buy this for the power, and their whole life they do different things just so they can remain in power. They go to a therapist so they can remain in power of their mind. They create their own businesses so they can be in power of their paycheck. They get a submissive significant other just so they can remain in control. I honestly automatically shut this idea down because I don't believe my purpose is power unless it's like power of voice. But I think I finally figured out my true purpose. My true purpose, y'all ready for it? I read a lot of books, from Atomic Habits to The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck by Mark Mason. And I think Mark had a huge point. I believe that my true purpose, as long as everyone else's true purpose, is to solve a problem. He stated that everyone has a bucket list bucket list. And whenever the bucket list is over, people are usually sad, depressed. Their POVs change because they don't know what they want to do with their life. Because you know what happens after a bucket list? You die. So they get this vision in their head that all they have left to do is die. But then Atomic Habits, they also had a point that kind of tags along with this. You have a goal and you have a system. When you get your first home, your goal was to get that home. But by the time you get the home, you don't smile because of the home. You remember all those late night shifts, all those hardworking days, the business you started that failed. The entire system is why you're smiling, because of what it took to get there. The entire bit of moments that you created along the way. So my purpose of life is to create problems that need to be solved. And I'm not saying go out my way to get fat just so I can work out and lose the weight. No, it's just, if I look at myself right now, the problem is I'm not as fit as I want to be. So I'm going to work out and solve that problem. I'll remain happy because I'm currently working on myself and a goal. Oh, I don't have a lot of money, so I get a good paying job and I work to build that up. And now I'm happy because I'm building it up. Oh, I don't have a great connection with my family, so I make a phone call once a week. And I'm happy that I'm able to stay connected. And I'm happy to solve that problem. So my purpose in life is solving the problems in my life. And that is the only true key to happiness in my visions at the moment. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hit the like button and subscribe. Also, I want to do a huge shout out to Cordell. His YouTube channel is on the screen right now. Me and him are starting something big here soon. And stay tuned. But I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Hit the like button, subscribe. And Sean Cole signing out. Peace.